Hello! Today I'll be talking about Graveler, the evolution of Geodude, who evolved at level 25. Graveler's previous PYC dates are May 11th, 1996, March 2nd, 1999, December 21st, 2001, October 11th, 2004, August 2nd, 2007, May 23rd, 2010, March 13th, 2013, January 2nd, 2016, October 23rd, 2018, and August 13th, 2021. It wasn't until way after my first time playing Pokémon that I realized Geodude had an evolution. One reason is I suck at video games. Even Pokémon. Also, I was so familiar with Brock's Geodude that I was surprised it wasn't a one-stage Pokémon like Onix was at the time. I don't know if it was a later time playing that I learned that it evolves, or if it was the Pokémon Ultimate Handbook, which I got at a book fair. I'd show you the book, but I got rid of it because it was outdated. May have even been when I played Pokémon Pearl that I learned it evolved. As for its design, I like both the design of Alolan and non-Alolan Graveler. I think they're both a great evolution of their respective Geodude. I particularly like that Alolan Graveler has pieces of gold, making it not just a rock. Let's get into the Bulbapedia article. Hello and welcome to the Bulbapedia section of the video. Today we'll be talking about Graveler, the rock Pokemon, whose number is 0075. This is Graveler, this is what it looks like. This is Alolan Graveler, this is what it looks like. Its types are Rock Ground for non-Alolan Graveler and Rock Electric for Alolan Graveler. Its abilities as non-Alolan Graveler is Rock Head or Sturdy, and as Alolan Graveler is Magnetic Pull or Sturdy. Sand Veil is non-Alolan Graveler's hidden ability, and Galvanize is Alolan Graveler's hidden ability. Gender ratio is 50-50, catch rate is 120 or 24.9%, breeding is egg group mineral, hatch time 15 cycles. Their height, as both of them, is 3'3" or 1 meter. Its weight as non-Alolan Graveler is 231.5 pounds or 105 kilograms. As a Alolan Graveler, it's 242.5 pounds, or 110 kilograms. Base experience yield is 134 in the first 4 gens, and 137 5+. Leveling rate is medium-slow, EV yield is 2 in defense. Shape is that, footprint is that. Pokedex color, brown, other forms may have other colors. I'm not sure I agree with it being brown. I didn't even mention this for Geodude either. Yesterday, but some interpretations I think have these two being brown, but I don't know, at least the current art is less brown, more gray, I'd say. This one maybe is a little bit more brown, but yeah, I don't know. Base friendship is 70. Graveler is a dual-type rock/ground Pokemon introduced in Gen 1. It evolves from Geodude starting at level 25 and evolves into Golem when traded or when exposed to a linking cord. In Alola, Graveler has a dual-type rock-electric regional form. It evolves from Alolan Geodude starting at level 25 and evolves into Alolan Golem. When traded, these Graveler can also be found in Blueberry Academy's terrarium. Biology: Graveler is a bipedal boulder Pokemon. Its round body is covered with small bumps and has a rocky crest above its small eyes and mouth. It has 4 arms, each with a 3-fingered hand. The second pair of its arms is typically kept tucked under its chest. It was shown in Pokemon Snap that despite having legs, it can revert to a legless form. This grants it the ability to float. Graveler's preferred locomotion is rolling, specifically because it is a slow walker. It often rolls down mountain paths at high speeds exceeding 60 miles per hour, crushing objects in the way and stopping by running into huge rocks should it build up too much speed. However, it will explode if it rolls into a river instead. Graveler is known to be generally free and uncaring, not minding if pieces of itself break off, as it can restore itself over time. Graveler climbs a mountain from base to summit, feasting on rocks all the while. Graveler's favorite rock to eat is moss-covered rocks. It regularly consumes tons of moss-covered rocks and makes loud noises while eating. Upon reaching the peak, it rolls down to the bottom. Graveler live in horizontal holes that they gouge out in sheer cliff faces, and they are capable of withstanding volcanic temperatures, as mentioned in Pokemon Sleep. Graveler is known to rock back and forth while sleeping. It is believed that Graveler is dreaming about rolling down hilly paths. Forms: Graveler has a regional form, Alolan Graveler. In the Alola region, Graveler looks similar to its regular counterpart, but with a silvery sheen. It lacks defined digits on its upper limbs and has 2 toes on each foot rather than 3. There are several small yellowish crystals scattered across its body and iron sand attracted by magnetism. This black sand creates crystal-like formations above its eyes, across the top of its upper pair of arms, and on the sides of its face. Alolan Graveler has a very quick-tempered personality. Alolan Graveler feeds on Dravite, which creates the yellow crystals on its body and grants it electrical abilities. It often fights with others over food, and when two smash together, it creates a flash of light and a booming sound. For this reason, people refer to it as the fireworks of the earth. Similar to its Cantonian counterpart, Alolan Graveler rolls down mountain paths. However, instead of flattening obstacles as it rolls, it sends them flying by zapping them with electricity. They can also be found in the canyon biome of Blueberry Academy's Terraria, where Alola's island life is simulated. Alolan Graveler and its evolutionary relatives are the only known Pokémon that can have Galvanize as an ability. Evolution, Graveler evolves from Geodude and evolves into Golem, so you can see that here, Geodude, Graveler, Golem. Alolan Graveler has a dual type, rock/electrical regional form. It evolved from Alolan Geodude and evolves into Alolan Golem. You can see that here. Alolan Geodude, Alolan Graveler, and Alolan Golem. Game data, NPC appearances. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Red Rescue Team, and Blue Rescue Team. 2 Graveler are members of Team Rumble Rock. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Sky. At the start of the special episode, here comes Team Charm. A Graveler is about to claim some treasure in an old set of ruins, but is beaten to it by Team Charm. Aww. Pokedex entries in Gen 1, Red and Blue. Rolls down slopes to move. It rolls over any obstacle without slowing or changing its direction. In Yellow, often seen rolling down mountain trails. Obstacles are just things to roll straight over, not avoid. Stadium, rolls on steep mountain trails. It plows through grass, trees, and anything else that gets in its way. In Gen 2 in Gold, with a free and uncaring nature, it doesn't mind if pieces break off while it rolls down mountains. Silver, a slow walker, it rolls to move. It pays no attention to any object that happens to be in its path. Crystal, it travels by rolling on mountain paths. If it gains too much speed, it stops by running into huge rocks. Stadium 2 is just Gold entry. Gen 3, in Ruby, Graveler grows by feeding on rocks. Apparently, it prefers to eat rocks that are covered in moss. This Pokemon eats its way through a ton of rocks on a daily basis. Sapphire, rocks are Graveler's favorite food. This Pokemon will climb a mountain from the base to the summit, crunchily feasting on rocks all the while. Upon reaching the peak, it rolls back down to the bottom. Emerald, they descend from mountains by tumbling down steep slopes. They are so brutal, they smash aside obstructing trees and massive boulders with thunderous tackles. Fire Red, be careful while hiking on mountain trails. Graveler may come rolling down the path without slowing. Leaf Green is just Red and Blues again. In Gen 4 and Diamond, Graveler make their homes on sheer cliff faces by gouging out numerous horizontal holes. Pearl, it tumbles down slopes, heedless of any body parts chipping off. It eats a ton of rocks daily. Platinum, it rolls on mountain paths to move. Once it builds up momentum, no Pokemon can stop it without difficulty. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are their Gold and Silver counterparts. The Gen 5 Pokedex entries are Platinum's entry. In Gen 6, X is the Gold entries. Y is Red, Blue, and Leaf Greens. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, their Ruby and Sapphire counterparts. In Gen 7 for non-Alolan Graveler. In Sun, mossy rocks are its favorite food. It can devour a ton a day while crunching loudly. Moon, this slow-footed Pokemon moves by curling up and rolling instead of walking. With enough momentum, its speed can exceed 60 miles per hour. Ultra Sun, it climbs up cliffs as it heads towards the peak of a mountain. As soon as it reaches the summit, it rolls back down the way it came. Ultra Moon, it travels by rolling down cliffs. If it falls into a river, it will explode with its last gasp. That's not great. The Let's Go games are just Yellow's entry. For Alolan Graveler, Sun, its preferred food is Dravite. After it has eaten this mineral, crystals form inside the Pokemon, rising to the surface of parts of its body. Moon, they eat rocks and often get into a scrap over them. The shock of Graveler smashing together causes a flash of light and a booming noise. Ultra Sun, when two Graveler fight each other, it fills the surroundings with flashes of light and sound. People call it the fireworks of the earth. Ultra Moon, Graveler's entire body is tinged with electricity due to the stones it likes to eat. It's very quick-tempered. Apparently it's not Gold. In the Let's Go games, when it comes rolling down a mountain path, anything in its way gets zapped by electricity and sent flying. In Gen 8, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are their Diamond and Pearl counterparts. In Legends Arceus, dwells in holes dug into sheer walls of stone. It enjoys rolling down slopes as though it were a boulder during a rockfall, so keep an eye upward while traversing mountain roads. In Gen 9, Scarlet is the silver entries. Violets, moss-covered rocks are Graveler's favorite food. It consumes over a ton of them a day, crunching loudly while it eats. For Alolan Graveler, Scarlet is very similar to Moon's entry, but slightly different, so we'll read it. They eat rocks and often get into a scrap over them. The impact of Graveler smashing together causes a flash of light and a booming noise. Violet is very similar to Ultra Moon's, but slightly different, so we'll read it. Graveler's entire body is electrically charged due to the stones it likes to eat. It is a very quick-tempered Pokemon. We've got Graveler in the Alola Pokedex, Alolan Graveler in the Alola Pokedex, Graveler in the... oh yeah, that's for Sun and Moon, and Graveler in the Alola Pokedex, and Alolan Graveler in the Alola Pokedex, and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Then we've got Graveler in the Kitakami Pokedex, so it's, you know, it's rolling down. You got a bunch of them rolling down the hill here. Then we got Alolan Graveler in the Blueberry Pokedex, just hanging out in a cave. I don't know if this one's kind of giving this one a side eye is what it looks like. Yeah. Game locations. Side game locations. Held items. For Graveler, Pokemon caught in Gen 1 must be traded to a Gen 2 game in order for a held item to appear. In Red, Blue, and Yellow, you get a Berry 100% of the time. Gold, Silver, and Crystal, you get an Everstone 2% of the time. Ruby and Sapphire, you get an Everstone 5% of the time. Fire Red and Leaf Green, you get a Hearthstone 5% of the time. In Emerald, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black, White, X, Y, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Brilliant Diamond, and Shining Pearl, you get an Everstone 5% of the time. In Legends Arceus, for Normal, you get a Tumblestone 40% of the time, Black, Augurite, 8% of the time, Grid Items by level. In Alpha, you get XP Candy M 100% of the time, Seed of Mastery 20% of the time, and Grid Items by level. Alolan Graveler in Sun and Moon, you get a Cell Battery 5% of the time, Rockium Z as an in-game trade 100% of the time. In Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, you get a Cell Battery 5% of the time. Stats, base stats for Graveler: HP 55, Attack 95, Defense 115, Special Attack 45, Special Defense 45, Speed 35, for a total of 390. This Pokemon's special base stat in Gen 1 was 45. Alolan Graveler has the same stats. Pokéthon stats. For type effectiveness, we'll compare Graveler and Alolan Graveler. So Graveler is damaged normally by Bug, Ghost, Psychic, Dragon, Dark, and Fairy. All of those are the same, but we also add Steel, Psychic, and Rock for Alolan Graveler. Graveler is weak to Fighting, Ground, Steel, Water, Grass, and Ice, all for double except for Water and Grass, which is 4. Alolan Graveler is weak to Fighting, Ground, Water, and Grass, all for double except for Ground, which is 4. Graveler is immune to Electric, while Alolan Graveler is immune to nothing. Graveler is resistant to Normal, Flying, Poison, Rock, and Fire, all for half except for Poison, which is a 4th. And Alolan Graveler is resistant to Normal, Flying, Poison, Fire, and Electric, all for half, except for Flying, which is a 4th. In the Graveler box, notes: if this Pokemon is given a ring target, the effectiveness of Electric-type moves is 1, so it would go from 0 to 1. For Learn Set, by leveling up, for Graveler, we'll go down to 25. 30, Stealth Rock, 34 Rock Blast, 40 Earthquake, 44 Explosion, 50 Double Edge, and 54 Stone Edge. For Alolan Graveler, same thing. Stealth Rock, 30, 34 Rock Blast, 40 Discharge, 44 Explosion, 50 Double Edge, 54 Stone Edge. Okay, by TM we're skipping. Yep. By Breeding we're skipping. For Prior Evolution for Graveler, you can get Gyro Ball from Geodude. Let's see, from prior to version 3, I guess. So I guess you can't get that anymore. It's a physical Steel-type move, by the way. Its accuracy is 100, and its PB, haha, is 5. Nothing for Alolan Graveler. Side game data for Graveler. Okay. In Pokemon Ranger, in the browser entry, Graveler sometimes hides as a boulder. It can break things by hurling rocks. Shadow's Volmia, it hurls rocks and stones to attack. Guardian Signs, it triggers rock falls to attack. Okay, got all this. New Pokemon Snap, in the Photodex entry, I'm sure you spotted Graveler curled up and rolling all over the place. It's such a resilient Pokemon, it can even withstand the heat of the volcano's lava. Alolan Graveler, I got this. Okay. Evolution data. Graveler. Graveler evolves from Geodude, starting at level 25, and evolves to Golem when traded. Pokemon Legends Arceus. Graveler can also evolve into Golem when exposed to a linking cord, so level 25, trade, linking cord, yeah. Alolan Graveler, same basic thing, just without the linking cord now. Sprites. Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. These make sense. You know, I've never seen these before. I mentioned that in the main video, how I never got to see Graveler before, in the original, so. Yeah, so these are interesting. These make sense as logical continuations. You can actually kind of see the crest starting to form here. You can see, you know, rock hands. It's actually kind of cool. This is more, you know, obviously the one we're more familiar with. So these work for this, I think, pretty well. I mean, obviously it was designed for this one, but it might probably work well for that one. It's kind of unclear. So it has 3 fingers at this point. Or 4 maybe? It looks like maybe 4 on this hand and 3 on this hand? I don't know. It seems just to be 3 on this one, so I don't know. But yeah, 3 fingers. That one obviously doesn't work for this one. Gold. Getting closer, not quite the right colors, but now we have the right, like, shape. 3 fingers. It's like still like 4 fingers, which is interesting. Yeah, okay. 3 fingers, 3 fingers. Yeah, 3 fingers, I think. Sorry. So it probably keeps just, yeah, 3 fingers universally. So, yeah, we got all that. Yep. I got a standing. That's pretty cool. Probably more refined. No image here. That's closer to what I know, like that pose, I guess. So yeah. And the mouth is red, so, oh yeah, so it's not, so you can see here that the mouth, the tongue is the same color, kind of like Geodude, we saw that yesterday. Also, this shiny is the sort of, rock, this is kind of orangish rock, and then now it's actually a brown. I believe it's different than Geodude's. I think it was still, I don't know, maybe it wasn't, like, gold yet, but, yeah, so, yeah, you got all that, you can see the hands all together, and see the back, so yeah, the red mouth replaces that, so this is the one I'm more familiar with, the diamond and pearl one, so this is the sort of, this is now a dark, kind of, sort of, almost a dark gold, I guess, sort of, maybe combining, but, yeah, so, yeah, I'm much more familiar with this one, yep. We got, yep, black and white, not really much of a difference. Then we got the models now. So these, I mean, they're kind of different. Like, particularly the hands are different because they had to, like, actually make them 3D, and I guess they didn't really quite work the same way. So, yeah, that's what they look like now. And, you know, this is all a lot bigger, I think. But it's pretty faithful, I'd say, adaptation, although it's interesting. I mean, I don't know. So now it's kind of a brown, it's kind of almost, I don't know, it's not the same dark gold, but it does seem like a dark gold. So then we got Sun and Moon. Look like they might be a little better quality in this gen. Yeah, still kind of a dark gold, but no, this is, yeah, the dark brown that we got in the Geodude one. I think it was the same color, which makes sense. Then we got the Let's Go games here. Now they're all 3D modeled and nice, and yep, we got this. Legends Arceus, that's kind of cool. So now it's sort of a lighter gold, sort of the back to that sort of dark gold color, I guess. Then we got just kind of gold now, and orange. Okay, in the anime, Graveler in the anime. Alolan Graveler in the anime with a couple Alolan Geodude, that's cool. Yep, we got all this. Pokedex entry in Sun and Moon, episode 95 in the Rotom Pokedex. Graveler, Alolan form, the rock Pokemon, a rock and electric type, the evolved form of Geodude. Graveler like to eat rocks and are known to get into fights. Pokemon evolutions, the manga, Graveler and Pokemon Adventures, Alolan Graveler and Pokemon Adventures. TCG. Other appearances, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, Graveler appears in Pokemon Detective Pikachu. We'll see that later. I think more than one appears. I mean, it's kind of hard to know. I think only one appears at any given time, so could be the same Graveler. I don't know. Trivia, Graveler's crystal sprite is different from that of Gold and Silver, making it one of the few Pokemon to have 3 distinctly different sprites in Gen 2. Graveler's red and blue sprite shows an incorrect number of limbs. Only 4 are visible. This was corrected in Pokemon Yellow. Mado's rendition of the Pokemon in Pokemon Adventures also depicts Yellow's Graveler with 4 limbs. Possibly for this reason, all other Graveler that have since appeared in Pokemon Adventures have been shown the right amount. Graveler is the only Pokemon unavailable for use in the Pika Cup, who can evolve despite the fact that Golem is available. Graveler is very similar to Boldore. Both are Rock-type Pokemon introduced in an odd number generation with a base stat total of 390. Sturdy is one of their abilities. Evolve at level 25 and can evolve again by trading. We did the 5th point here yesterday. Same with the 6th point and the 7th point. In Gen 9, Cantonian Graveler cannot learn Gyro Ball via TM while its evolutionary relatives can. Origin. Graveler appears to be based on a living boulder and thus may be based on an earth elemental creature like Golem. Its 4 arms may be based on Hindu gods such as Shiva or Vishnu. It could also have been inspired by Tsuchikorobi, a Japanese yokai known as the Tumbling Monster, for its habit of rolling over travelers and crushing them, as Graveler does. A Alolan Graveler seems to have dark structures made of piezoelectric crystals or magnetite, a subset of iron ore known for its black crystalline appearance and magnetic properties. This iron ore takes shape of Graveler's eyebrows. The golden gems may also be inspired by piezoelectric materials or by amber and its electrostatic characteristics. This could also be an allusion to that, ancient Greek for amber. Name origin, Graveler may be a combination of gravel and traveler. Oh, that makes sense. Golone may be a combination of Goron, onomatopoeia for rolling rocks and stone. That's what Goron means? Oh. Goron is also the name of a creature in the Legend of Zelda franchise. That's cool to know that's where that comes from. In other languages, related articles, references, and external links. Let's move on. Now let's watch Graveler's first scene in the anime. Hello and welcome to the anime portion of the video. Today we are watching episode 9, The School of Hard Knocks. In this episode, Ash, the main character, and his traveling companions, Brock and Misty, as well as his faithful Pokemon companion Pikachu, have come to Pokemon Tech. They've sort of wandered onto the campus here. They've met a student, Joe. This is Giselle. She's kind of bullying Joe, and Misty has come in to challenge her in a fight. Misty has sent out her Starmie, so Giselle here is gonna send out her Graveler.
Graveler, go!
There's the Graveler.
Graveler? But rock Pokemon are weak against water Pokemon.
But my Pokemon are at such an advanced level they can beat water Pokemon.
Huh. Okay. Oof. Oh. That's okay. Huh. So yeah, that's Graveler's first scene in the anime. Let's move on. Now let's watch Graveler's scenes in Detective Pikachu. Hello and welcome to the Detective Pikachu portion of the video, or as I like to call it, Detective Graveler, as it's only the frames with Graveler to the best of my ability, and that's especially true today because for some reason my copy of Detective Pikachu isn't working. So I've compiled clips of the past. I apologize if like the audio gets a little off or anything. I did my best to try to get as many of the Graveler scenes as I could. So at this point in the film, Tim Goodman, the main character, has met Detective Pikachu, a talking Pikachu, and Lucy, and her Psyduck. She's an intern at this news station here. They've found a chemical called the R-gas. They're going to talk to her about it. And, well, we're not going to see that scene, right? There's the Graveler right in the background here. Okay.
You found yourself?
So, she was talking about how Tim found himself a Pokemon partner in Detective Pikachu because he didn't have one. Anyway, so we've cut to much later in the film. They've tracked the R-gas to this underground fight club. Gengar is battling a Blastoise. There is a Graveler in the background. I think around here. It's kind of hard to tell. Or maybe over here. I don't know. But it's kind of hard to tell because these are blocking this. But, yeah, so. Okay, so now, cut to a little later. Detective Pikachu is about to face a Charizard, the owner's Charizard, to find out more about the disappearance of Tim's father, Harry Goodman, whom they're looking into as well. That, like, the R-gas connects to his disappearance. Yeah. So there's one over here. It's kind of hard to tell with all the lights being like this, but it's
just doing some light stretching.
Over
you never
here.
want to go into these things tight.
Okay, so that's the they're having the battle. So Hit also, so you can kind of see the eyes here. It also has the R-gas, so R-gas makes the Pokemon go crazy. That'll be more important when we get to this view. Here, so it's kind of down here more. Graveler, yeah, you can kind of see it now. Okay, so in that scene, Tim, so Detective Pikachu couldn't use his powers, so Tim interfered but the owner stepped in to get Tim out of that because it's a dangerous situation. But he had a bunch of vials of R gas in his coat. He fell. Now all the Pokemon in this arena are going crazy. See them battling, and yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Let's move on. Now let's see why people love Graveler. Now let's look at fan art. Hello and welcome to the fan art section of the video. Nobody sent in fan art, so instead we're looking at DeviantArt fan art. For those of you familiar with the series, you might be wondering why we're on this single image, and that's because this is the only image we'll be doing today. This is day 474, Kanto 074, 075, 076 by Cryptid Creations. Geodude here, Graveler and Golem, how they're kind of redesigned to be more like the ground rock, with a little bit of grass on top. That's pretty cool. It's very, stylized. It's very nice. Yeah. He's all angry and, yeah. That one's also angry. This one's not angry, which is interesting. Yeah, so that's it. Let's move on. Thanks to everyone who submitted fan art. I won't be streaming tonight as I need to wait until I talk about Snorlax before I can evolve Geodude into Graveler. As for Alolan Graveler, I'll have to wait until I've talked about the Gen 7 Pokemon to get back to that one. Tomorrow I'll be talking about Golem. As always, this isn't my proper outfit, and you'll see me tomorrow.